This is Seaport Strip, a map in Jak X. Now, before we begin, let me just explain something real quickly. I absolutely love the Jak and Daxter games. Jak 1, 2, and 3, I grew up with them, and I absolutely loved these games. I always owned Jak X, but I was never that fond of it. However, that was until today. I came across a video called Seaport Strip History of Jak X's Steel Track. So I decided to watch it. I got extremely interested, and I thought to myself, it'd be kind of cool if I went from knowing absolutely nothing about this map by going 12 hours into it straight and seeing if I could get the world record in it. Yes, I thought that, and my god, I was mentally broken down. You thought military training was bad? Nah, try Seaport Strip for 12 hours. This game absolutely ruined my sanity. Did I get the world record, or did I not even make it on the board? Let's find out as I do 12 hours of Seaport Strip. But before we do that, one slight problem. I don't have a save data for Jak X, at least on the PS5. I played this game a lot on the PS2, but I don't have my PS2. And even if I did, I don't have any recording software for my PS2 because I record everything in HDMI. So this was a bit of an issue. But no need to fear, it's on the PS5. Let's just buy it and play it. Slight problem again. We have to do a 5-hour-long campaign just to get a very specific car unlocked. This car being the Havoc. This is the fastest car in the game, at least according to the stats. I don't know how accurate this is, but we'll take it anyway. So I play 5 hours, I get the car, and I fully upgrade it, which is again an extra hour or two because I didn't actually collect all the orbs to get my car fully upgraded by the end of the game. Sorry. Now, let's set the scene for what we're actually dealing with here. The #1 world record right now is 1 minute 30 seconds and 790 milliseconds. That part is very important because you will be scraping milliseconds in the top ranks here just to try and get your place up by 1. I'm not even joking. This is the leaderboard. It is ridiculous. There are so many people that finish this map in 1 minute 31 seconds, but milliseconds count so much in this map. So we had to beat 1 minute 30:79. That was the goal here. But obviously I didn't expect that to happen, so I kind of set some side goals. The side goals being, we'll try and get top 5, we'll try and get top 10, maybe top 15, top 20. That's pretty much how it worked. So let's get into it, shall we? So out of the hour that I played for my first hour, the fastest time I got was this one by here, which was 1 minute 34:51. This was the fastest time I could get within the hour. I've never been more disappointed in my life. But obviously I was like, you know what? I'm new to the track. I'm new to speedrunning. I'm new to all of this. It's fine. It's fine. I can improve. I can get better. But holy shit, was this difficult. There isn't any cool glitches or anything like that. It is just get those corners extremely tight, manage your boosts, and make sure you don't run over these boost pads. Why don't run over these boost pads? Shouldn't it make you go faster? No. I don't understand the science behind it. I just believe what people say. But yeah, it seems to be the norm that if you go over these boost pads, you go slower. I don't question why. Continuing through the map, I tried my hardest to get anywhere below 1 minute 30. It was not happening for such a long time. So within the first hour, we couldn't even get past 46. And that's like just nearly the last entry on this list.
I am your father.
What?
I'm your father!
Right, yeah.
Listen to your feelings.
You're not my
No,
father.
seriously, your mother and...
Hour 2 was even worse. For some reason, and I don't know why, I could not get a 1 minute 34. I don't know what was going on, but I just couldn't get a 1 minute 34. There was something wrong here, and I just did not know what it was. I don't know if it was the fact that I was drifting too much. I don't know if it was the fact that I was jumping over stuff needlessly. Obviously, I know that now. Jumping does get you boost, which is the immediate thought I had in my head, thinking, yes, I'll jump. That'll manage my boost. I'll just play it like it's Rocket League or something like that. It did not work. It did not work. Also, drifting is very, like, tedious in this game. If you drift, like, sometimes it can be extremely smooth. Sometimes you'll just smash into a wall and blow up. This corner by here specifically is what ruined a lot of my runs. Thank God it was in the first 10 seconds because this turn was really annoying me. It was probably the hardest drift in the entire track, and it was annoying to deal with as a new player. But hour 2 finished, and I only had a 1 minute 34. So I was already on edge because I was just getting really, really fed up with this. Hour 3 is nothing special either, because once again, I took no tips off of YouTube and I just went at it fully naked. Literally just me and my brain. And if you know anything about me, you would know that's a bad idea. Anyway, this whole thing ended with a 1 minute 34. What a shocker. 3 hours in and I'm still unable to get anywhere. I was starting to give up at this point, but don't worry, I stood in there.
Oh my God!
Hour 4. This is where things changed. I don't know what snapped in my head, but something was happening. And I don't know why, but I was getting better at the run. I have no idea how. Do not ask. The runs were becoming a lot more fluid. I was able to make a lot less mistakes in these runs. However, there were still certain parts that I was struggling with. This turn by here you're seeing on screen is such a precise turn. I kept crashing into the wall, or I went over the boost pad. By then I knew that the run was dead, but I continued to go with it anyway. But this always resulted in a 1 minute 34. So it kind of made me realize I need this turn to be perfect, or I will not get a 1 minute 33. It's just impossible. However, I did get a few 1 minute 33s in this hour. It was fun, I guess. Skimming through the footage, I think I got about 6. I'll be real with you, a lot of 1 minute 34s, but a lot of 1 minute 33s, so I'm happy with that.
Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce.
Hour 5, the reckoning. We had one run that was 1 minute 32, and it was only just barely 1 minute 32. But still, it was a PB on my 5th hour. I was happy with what I was doing so far. This is the only notable thing this hour. It was just a lot of crashing, a lot of just burnout, I guess you could say. I had been doing it for 5 hours straight by this point. I'm not even exaggerating. There was no toilet breaks. There was no food breaks. It was just me playing this entire track 5 hours straight. It was at this point I realized burnout would actually kill me if I continued. So I took a minute and I just put the controller down. Technically speaking, it wasn't 12 hours straight, but just let a man rest, please.
Stop it. Get some help.
It turns out the rest worked, because on my 6th hour, I got a 1 minute 31. Scratch that, I got 2 1 minute 31s, and one was better than the other, thank God. This was an entirely just painstaking moment in my life, but I realized to myself, I should probably look up videos at this point, at least videos that will help me. So I did. I looked up the top world record run, and whew, there was some stuff I was missing. I can't lie. One of the first things that I noticed about this run is at the very start. The guy doesn't actually drift. He just simply goes around the corner without drifting. I had been drifting this entire time just to get that little extra bit of boost. But by this point, I was starting to think of something. Was drifting slower? By the look of it, it was, because in this video, the guy didn't really drift at all. He only drifted when it was absolutely necessary, like at the end of the map in this corner by here. Throughout the rest of the track, though, he tries to keep his wheels on the ground, and he boosts a bit weirdly. So here's the thing. I had been trying to go out this track with all-out boost. Anytime there wasn't boost, I was just like, I should probably reset. But it turns out, and sadly I should have remembered this from watching the Rixer, so apparently the car is at full speed even when the boost runs out. This made me realize a lot of the time throughout these 6 hours that I've been playing so far, I was getting very demotivated playing this entire track, losing boost at random points, and just thinking that those milliseconds, that second or two that's quicker on the leaderboards, is because they didn't run out of nitrous. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. In fact, in the top speed run for this game, nitrous has run out a few times in the run, but I didn't know this at the time. So while it was demotivating then, it made me realize, okay, we're on the right track. We're actually doing something pretty interesting here. So I tried to go at it again on hour 7. This time I had knowledge about what I should do. And what would you know? Doing this run, I ended up with a whopping Well done, everybody. I finally did it. I beat Outrageous Josh. This was an incredible achievement. Just watching one video from the world record made me realize what my mistakes were. Now, here's the thing. After I had done this, there was one slight problem. I had all the information I needed. I knew what I had to do in the track. The only thing I needed to do now was beat milliseconds. And I'm talking milliseconds by this point. This became a case of, instead of running the track and trying to do something better, it was running the track and trying to perfect what I already had done. There was no mistakes. I just needed it to be a millisecond quicker. However, I won't sugarcoat it or anything like that. From hour 7, which was, well, when we just finished it, all the way up to hour 12, there wasn't a single faster time. 1 minute 31.66 was the quickest time I had gotten in the 12 hours. I would have just gone and, you know, fucking edged you all to like, oh, I might have gotten quicker. There was no chance. This was my fastest time for the remaining 5 hours. From this point forward, I could confidently get a 1 minute 32 every single time. A 1 minute 31 was extremely difficult, but every single time I did get one, as you see on screen, it was mainly just like milliseconds behind my my PB. There was no chance I was getting quicker than this. So sadly, through the 12 hours we played, I did not get anywhere close to the world record, at least from what you would assume, because obviously the world record was less than a second away from me. But this track was so optimized by this point that getting anything faster was literally just playing the game perfect, like pixel perfect. You had to turn those corners flawlessly, but it was just not happening. The amount I put into this game just to try and get this world record was immense, but sadly I could not scrape off an extra second. I found it almost impossible. I scammed through all of the gameplay that I did on these last few hours, and there was nothing. There was nothing. Unless, after the amount of burnout that I did on this game, there was one thing holding me back. One thing was burnout. So when we got to the last 5 minutes and I did my final run, my brain was at full capacity. This run you're seeing right here, I was in the zone. I was in the zone for this entire run, and oh. Well, GG. That was my final run. I felt like my brain was in the zone. I was like, this is the final run. I gotta make this count, and I fucking crash. Anyway, that'll do it for that. I did put this game down and was tempted to jump back into it because I wanted a more, you know, satisfying ending. But that's the thing about stories that are true. They don't have these, you know, fairy tale endings or you know, superhero finales. It is just a case of, yeah, we got stuck and we never got past it. So, and I like to keep true to the story. I'm not gonna do a cheating scandal where I start splicing footage or whatnot. Now, obviously, I don't really care about being put on speedruns.com, you know, unless I'm able to hit #1. So I'm not gonna upload the run itself to speedrun.com, but I might leave a link in the description to a private video of me doing the run just to prove that I did do it. You know, I'm not really too focused on it being official or anything like that. I just wanted to make a fun video. This was pretty fun. So yeah, let me know if you want me to do another 12 hours of Seaport Strip. We'll go for 24 hours straight, maybe. If I do it again, though, I might. Oh my god, look at that crash you saw on the right. I might do a live stream maybe of Seaport Strip in the future, maybe a different track. I'm not really too sure yet. To be honest, it's the first video I did on the channel, and I'll see how it does. But yeah, I don't really know what I have planned in the future for content. But thank you for watching the video. It means a lot, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.